Peace. Hoodmystic.com, El Melchizedek, the Hood Mystic. Um, and we are going to be discussing love today. No, we're going to be discussing the Venus transits that are leading up to the Virgo new moon, September 20th, from September 13th to September 19th. It's a lot going on in the world of Venus, so I felt that to just focus on just these aspects and then follow up this weekend with the new moon specifically for Virgo, because I can talk about that for an hour by itself. So devote some time to relationships, love, finances, and let's build upon that, because and then we can start to understand once we start to understand these transits. uh this is for beginners and people who don't know what astrology is. We break things down elementary, and this is even for deep niggas, because sometimes niggas can get so deep that they don't make sense to themselves and they don't make sense to others. So it's not about being deep, it's about understanding the information, understanding the planetary energy, just because we are nature beings. In Egyptology, the stars and the planets were synonymous with the plants and the animal life. They were all three forms of the pyramid: animal life, plant life, and the star life. That is nature. So we're just discussing the nature. So Venus, like I said, the planets are light. The planet, when you look in the sky and you see Venus in the sky, you don't see a fucking round ball. You see an organism of some form of light in a particular shape, not a circle. But anyways, when Venus is in a particular sign, the sign becomes a shade over the light, creating a different type of atmosphere. And sometimes when you have two planets in the same sign on top of each other, that creates a different light. And maybe they're not conjunct, maybe they're in the same sign but separated, it creates a whole different light. So when we talk about astrology, we talk about the light of the planet, just like the sun fucking lights the planet, but so do the planets. Now their light isn't as strong as the sun, yet and still the light is still there and it still affects us. You a fool to say the sun doesn't affect you, right? So you have to imagine that these planets and these stars affect you in just the same way, but it may be a tad bit more subtle than, a 80-degree day. But just like a full moon in Pisces, conjunct Neptune, all water signs happening at a particular time where Houston, Texas would experience floods on top of floods. That's not a coincidence, but that's not just Houston, Texas dealing with a flood. That's everybody in the planet in some aspect of our lives and our understanding. We are being inundated with past life trauma and things that we don't understand and things we haven't worked out with ourselves. Like, our reservoirs aren't A1. So when the storm does come, proverbially, we suffer just like the people in Houston. Now, they might suffer on a physical level. Your ass might suffer on a financial level. You might experience a flood financially, but not the good flood, a bad flood. See, that's what you need to understand about planetary energy. So Venus representing love and currency, finances, money, in different degrees. So we're going to talk a lot about relationships. Now, if you happen to not be in a relationship, we are all in a relationship. A relationship with who? A relationship with self. So ultimately, the relationship that I'm identifying is the individual's relationship with self. And sometimes the person that you're with is just a placeholder or a figure of the relationship you have with yourself. So problems with your partner represents problems with yourself, because you haven't healed that part of you yet. So understanding Venus in Leo is trining Saturn September 13th. So Saturn is in Sagittarius, holding it down in Sagittarius, because Saturn in Sagittarius is like, it's a particular order that I want this shit to be. Like reigning supreme in all of our lives. And that hits us in different areas. So Venus aspect in this. So Venus sees Saturn's light and meets it halfway. It's called the trine. It's kind of supporting. So Venus in Leo is, I love you and you supposed to love me back. Like the reciprocation is like on 10 when Venus is in Leo. So this can be good or bad. If it's reciprocated, awesome. But what if I love Sheila, but Jasmine loved me? It creates tension and it's kind of harsh. And Leo is a fixed sign. Leo isn't energy that is mutable to anything. It is what it is. And that's what's frustrating about a Leo that you may personally know, or even if you are a Leo and you find yourself dealing with negative aspects of life, it's hard to adjust. You either really good or really bad. And that's just because it's the fixed nature. So it's always important to get readings and like do self work and bypass the Leo aspect of your personality and get to a spiritual level. But if you don't understand your basic astrology, the same way is if I sat in a room and read every encyclopedia, but I never went outside, so I got all of this knowledge, but I go outside unprepared for the temperature of the world, and so I can't really function in society. That's how a lot of our people is in the world, because this planetary energy is raining down on us like the sun, and we are not computing it and understanding it. Like, oh, it's rainy outside. Let me get an umbrella. Let me wear a raincoat. Let me protect myself from the elements. So, Venus in Leo trine Saturn. Saturn in Sagittarius is like this. This is how it's going to be. You need to make a decision. So, back to Venus in Leo supporting your decision making in the realms of relationships, friendships, and even family, and even with yourself, even by doing right by yourself, ultimately speaking your truth, ultimately being honest with yourself, ultimately being honest with others. It's easy as pie, but the way that Venus and Leo is set up, you just want what you want. If you are a Venus and Leo person, you just want what you want, and you can either accept it or be real depressed because you don't get what you want. But it's interesting, at the same time, the sun is squaring Saturn. So back to the decision making. So what is the sun? Like I said, we're dealing with light. So the sun is a major light. So what's the most major thing in your life? Yo ass. So the sun is you, the personality. The sun is in Virgo, shining through. So the sun in Virgo is looking into a world of, this is what I got and this is what I am. It done been through a harsh summer and now is looking at the harvest. Squaring Saturn, ultimately, the decisions that you gonna make with your harvest. See, the thing about a harvest is that it has to be proportion. You have to start to plan looking forward. So it's really a time of decision making and planning. Um, and now understanding what you want and what you need, your foreknowledge is key. So understanding to believing in yourself and trusting your intuition and knowing what's best for you and doing that, because it's really a setup to Venus conjunct North Node, and it's all about alignment. So what we see a lot of times in astrology, and since we are dealing with light and are dealing with awareness and we are dealing with planning and understanding the future, that people do not practice or understand astrology. So a lot of people bump their heads. So if I'm explaining things to you about water and things of this nature, um, is and it represents itself in the media, whether it be trickster figures or I'm talking about Ishu and Dick Gregory die and Jerry Lewis die and all of these things that happen. They're not happening because it's random and it's coincidental, and it's not happening because the white man is killing everybody. It's happening because it's a divine order to all things, and the light that shines down, it doesn't just hit every it whether it rain or not, it's going to rain. And if you prepare and you got an umbrella, you won't get wet. You understand? But the person next to you, not up on meteorology or astrology, he might be sitting right next to you at your cubicle having a nervous breakdown because he's not able to flex and change and know when to pivot and know about these planetary energies, and he doesn't understand himself astrologically. He doesn't understand his personality, so he just does things without really thinking about it. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about being in goddamn alignment with your goddamn spirit, because at the end of the day, who are you serving? Who is your master? Your mama, your boyfriend, your husband, your girlfriend, your wife, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your friend? Who are you trying to look up to? Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to be with? Why? Are you doing what's best for you right now? Is this the best thing for you right now? Like, these are the questions that you should be asking yourself, because when real shit happen and you not on top of your money, then what are you gonna do with it? Like, like, like you really have to understand the world that you're living in, that is not hunky dory, and a lot of things aren't in your best interest. So the only thing that a nigga could do was be in his own damn best interest. You understand? Venus conjunct North Node, September 14th, a day after these trines and squares to Saturn, we see Venus conjunct North Node aligning itself with the Grand Fire trine, the trine Grand Fire sign with Uranus and Aries, North Node and Leo, and Saturn and Sagittarius. So Venus comes into alignment with this energy that we've been trying to express over the past 3 months, when we've been highlighting the solar eclipse and highlighting a need for personal responsibility, because you may not have people around you may not have your best interest at heart. So it's important for you to have your best interest at heart. So Venus conjunct the North Node is expanding your horizons, knowing what's best for you, speaking your truth, new relationships. And if you already are in a bomb relationship, or your relationship is going good, then we're talking about new dimensions of your love life being truly explored. We talking about, you know, maybe ending relationships and creating a new relationship with self. We talking about really being happy about where you're going if you're dealing with making the proper decisions and coming into alignment with self. And this is really opportunity, because whenever we deal with the North Node, whenever we have signs conjunct the North Node, what does that indicate? That indicates to me a portal. And so a portal is an opportunity to kind of, win the lottery or boss up or luck up or get into the groove of things. So really want to be on your path to happiness and financial security, and really aligning yourself with the love that you want versus the love that society says that you should have, versus the love that your mama said you should have. Like, Venus is really calling out to you to really be the love that you want to experience. And ain't shit wrong with that. How do I know that? Because 4 days later, September 18th, Venus trines Uranus. But of course it is, because it's in alignment with the grand fire sign trine. But what are we highlighting? So we have a portal that's trining Uranus in Aries, and what is that? What have we always been talking about? Like, once we said those lights are outer lights, so the planets don't shine. You might not be able to see Uranus with your naked eye, but the energy is still present. It is a generational energy. It is an energy for all that we all can share in, and it's really about taking that first step into bossing up on a spiritual level. And what do I mean by that? I mean by making decisions that are in line with your spirit. That's it. My spirit say, and that's what I want to do. And I don't even know what that is, but that's what my spirit say. So I'm rolling with it and really having that courage. I don't know what that looks like for you, but I know it looks like something for you. And I don't think that generally we've had an opportunity in society to even get these vibes, because the energy is just so strong that it's not like it's a problem, but it's just a declaration of alignment. And you dealing with, so we all have been affected by the flood in one way or another, correct? And the other things that's going on in your personal life, so that can throw you off a little bit, you understand? So the question is, am I aligned now? I made it through what I needed to make it through, and maybe things are still a little rough, but my responsibility is to alignment. So get into Uranus and Aries, Venus trying in this. So what is that? What is that saying? Are you loving what you love because you personally love it? Like, are you enjoying what you are experiencing? Are you able to express your love? Are you financially as empowered as you possibly can be right now? Are you at the place that's paying you to? Are you getting what you're worth right now in your relationship? Even if you're not in a relationship, are you treating your spirit as good as it should be treated right now? Are you doing the things that yourself, like, are you eating right? Are you treating your body right? Are you treating your emotions right? Are you, the things that you see, the things that you experience, the things, whether it be drugs and drinking and things of that nature, like, are you doing it correctly? So when doing this, we establish the spiritual connections. And like I said, if it's not with others, at least create that spiritual connection within yourself. At least do the things that you want to do and how you express yourself. So, finally, dealing with these Venus transits, we have the Sun opposed Chiron, 9/19, September 19th, the day before the Virgo new moon, a day before September 21st, World Peace Day. Just a lot of confusion energy, a lot of problems being solved. I feel like in the world of politics, a lot of things will be overturned because Venus is love and all of that, but Venus got a warlike aspect to her too. And love conquers all things, at the end of the day, and not the love for fuck shit, the love that you have for yourself. The love that you have for yourself will conquer all barriers. It will override all obstacles. Anything that you could experience, if you love yourself through it, you definitely will win. So after much confusion, those old scars being reopened like we talked about at the beginning, the sun opposed Chiron invites healing and introspection. Things begin to fall into place when you start to do the things that make you happy. See, what I express to you is like a roller coaster of emotions in the realms of love and finances and the different aspects, but it's all a means to an end. It's all about these things falling into place. It's all about doing the things that make you happy. If you are able to like I said, it's a portal, so I don't know if you like watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid, and a portal will open and Michelangelo and Donatello will get through it, and Raphael had to be in the sewer with Splinter Salty because he can't go. Like, that's life, When a portal, portals don't stay open forever. It's a opportunity for us to grow spiritually. So are we taking that opportunity? Like I said, if you're not in a relationship, if you're not dealing with people or whatever, you antisocial, then I'm talking about the relationship with yourself, because that needs to be healed as well. And that's what it's all about, man. And then it ain't over. This shit continues. So we're going to talk about this Virgo new moon, which is kind of crazy because it's a mutable energy. So if I got a outlet and it got 5,000 watts and I want to plug up a refrigerator to feed the homeless people, but Dr. X want to plug up a neutron bomb, we got the same kind of outlet. If he plug his plug up to it, it's going to be a neutron bomb. If I plug my plug up to it, it's going to be a refrigerator for the kids and the homeless. It's mutable energy. So what does that mean when you deal with powerful energy that's mutable? Bad things happen and good things happen. I just explained to you, energy. It's just a plug. Anybody can plug up to it. What's your responsibility with that information? You cry about the niggas that's plugging up the neutron bombs, and you don't build you up a bomb of positivity to plug up to counteract that, or just plug up a stove so you can eat? I don't know. But that'll be it, man. The Hood Mystic, man. Check me out, www.hoodmystic.com, hoodmystic@gmail.com for readings. That's pretty much it, man. Hood Mystic Spiritual Advisory on Facebook if you on that. But if you want to holler or chop it up or just want some understanding on this astrology, let me know. hoodmystic.com. Peace.